Alright guys, today we're checking out a shallow mount sub, something I've never done before, and if you're interested, subscribe because I'm also going to do reviews on 3 other subs and then a 4 sub shallow mount shootout at the end. So stay tuned for that. So the first one I'm checking out is the Rockford Fosgate R2 10-inch shallow mount. Now this sub's rated at 200 RMS, 400 peak. It has a 2-inch voice coil and the mounting depth is 3.42 inches. So it's a real nice looking sub. It does have more of a normal, kind of a sturdy foam surround. Hard dust cap. It looks really cool. It's got the Rockford Fosgate logo. This sub you get a rubber mounting gasket, which some of the other shallow mounts don't have. So this is nice because it'll seal up when you mount it to a box. So specs say on this about 0.7 cubic foot sealed and about 1.4 cubic foot ported. But most guys are going to use these in a small sealed box because the whole reason they're looking at these is because they don't have a lot of space. So we're going to check them in a 0.6 cubic foot sealed box. And I will also throw the weight up on the screen now so you guys can see how much this 10-inch sub weighs. As well as real quick, I'll throw up the TS parameters that I pulled on this sub pre-break-in. Keep in mind the FS and some of the other TS parameters will change about 10% during break-in. So there you go. This has a pretty decent sized magnet for a shallow mount. You have push terminals on each side. And you have screen mesh covering the voice coil vents. So pretty beefy for a shallow mount. Fosgate's usually always pretty high quality. And see, you do have built-in foam around the back already applied, which is nice. So we're going to go ahead and get this hooked up, and we're going to be running it on a 650 RMS amp. And that's true 650 watts. And we'll see how it sounds, how it performs, and see how well it takes the power. So stay tuned. Okay, so we got this Fosgate 10-inch shallow mount hooked up. So keep in mind, even though we're running a 650 watt RMS amp, because of the impedance rise with the subwoofer in a box, it always changes. It's always higher. So even though this sub's wired to 2 ohms, we're probably going to see about 3 or 4 on the meter, but that still should suffice because these are only 200 RMS, so I'm sure we'll get that out of it. So let's go ahead and get started. Alright guys, well there you have it. This Fosgate sub did pretty good, and it actually sounded very good for a shallow mount sub. It hit the lows awesome, Some of the shallow mounts don't hit the lows that well, so this had a really nice sound. It was clean on the bass, it hit the lows, it was punchy. It did start stressing out a little bit, as you saw in the meter, above a couple hundred watts. So it was very efficient though. So I would definitely say don't overpower it, and it's a great sounding sub. And keep in mind, those readings you saw in the meter were kind of real world. This was wired at 2 ohm, and the amp is 650 RMS, but because of the impedance rise of the sub, we were seeing about max about 400 watts, 380. So really anything over about 200 was kind of pushing it, which these are rated 200 RMS. So if you get, a 400 watt amp or 350 watt amp, that would be perfect for one of these with the impedance rise values. But good sounding sub. It hit the lows very good. It was very accurate. It was clean. It wasn't muddy sounding. So very good. Keep an eye out too. I'm doing 3 other shallow mount 10-inch subs, and I'm going to compare them at the end with the shootout video. So stay tuned for that. If you guys like this content, please like and subscribe. And thanks again for watching.